Hey, good morning. Jairam here. Welcome to Almost Market Morning. Uh, Global stocks have continued their stunning recovery, with S&P almost going back to the all-time highs yesterday. A statement from Pfizer and BioNTech that their three-shot course of their vaccine neutralized the Omicron in their lab test helped stocks higher. Investors have become less concerned about Omicron implication and also ignoring the fact that Fed is on the path to tightening rates. Reduced concerns on Omicron also means Fed tightening prospects actually increase. US 2-year yields are trading close to the recent highs in the lead up to CPI tomorrow and Fed meeting that ends on 15th December. Jolt's report showed that the job quiters declined by 4.7%, falling to 4.16 million from 4.6 million. Total number of jobs, so openings hit 11.03 million, which is an increase of 4.1%. In October, the number of openings exceeded those looking for jobs with 3.6 million. So it's a case of economy really going strong with job creations running at record high. Dollar index has seen a small reversal as Euro and Aussie make good recovery, while Chinese one has hit a new 40-month high, and its trade-weighted index also soaring. Clearly, Chinese have been more tolerant of the strength in yuan, which has been seen despite many challenges, which would have argued for a weaker currency. Evergrande shares also hit a new record low after they missed another debt payment. Feeling is that this news is well discounted, hence there's no much impact either on the equity market in general or the currency. So yuan stands out, while yuan stands out as strongest currency, GBP is conspicuously the weakest as investors see MPC remaining behind the curve. UK government contemplates stricter measures to ward off the effects of new COVID variant. Both Australia and Canada left policies unchanged. While Aussie has rallied after the decision, Canadian dollar has slightly weakened, but that could be pinned down more to profit taking because Canadian dollar is really well supported due to higher oil prices. On the rupee, the popular talk in the market about big outflow, and that was probably well covered yesterday, and we saw nationalized banks offering around 75-55 levels. So that being a very technically important level, one can expect a pullback towards 75.10 in a gradual way. It depends on the flows, which so far has not been very great as far as the inflows are concerned. But looking at the recovery in stocks, might expect some FII flows in the coming days. Exporter selling interest is also quite high at these levels at 75.50 plus 3 rupees 50 paisa. I think getting an overall 1 year rate of 79 looking very attractive for exporters. So I guess from these levels, USD-INR to go up, particularly when the dollar itself in general is somewhat finding it resistant to go up. So we should expect some correction in the USD-INR in the coming sessions. Thank you.
Thanks, JK. This is Pankaj. On contrary to my expectations of 15 basis rate hike in reverse repo rate, RBI maintained all rates status quo. RBI adopting a very patient approach for durable, strong, and inclusive recovery. So let's see how it works out. Liquidity continued to be normalized as RBI indicated that variable reverse rate repo amount would be increased. They are increasing it to 7.5 lakh crores from December 31st. So that much of amount of a variable reverse repo rate would be there in the system. So as of now, RBI is playing through liquidity or managing through liquidity, and rates are keeping status quo. RBI maintained GDP projections as earlier projected and indicated 7.8% for Q2 FY23. That looks a very decent number. RBI also reduced inflation forecast marginally and indicated 5% for Q2 FY23. So it's like a Goldilocks scenario where growth is good and inflation projections are lower. Let's see how it works out. For the smooth transition from LIBOR to ARR, alternative reference rate, the rates or spreads have been changed from 450 to 500 BPS for ECBs and from 250 BPS to 300 for trade credits. So they have given us slightly higher rates for making transition smoother. For the existing ECB and trade credit, since they would be also moving from a LIBOR to ARR, the rates have been increased by 100 basis. So earlier it was 450, now it has become a 550. And for trade credit, it's for 250. That has been now 350. In continuation of us hearing of crypto companies in US, these guys have been reiterated for careful bespoke rules rather than forcing industry to comply with existing regulations. The message is very clear that we are here for entrepreneurship. We are here to grow the economy, the industry, and there's a need of this. So please be, while making regulations, please be clear about it. US 10-year yields rose above 150 and dealing at 1.52 now, and 2 years yield dealing at 70 basis. So basically, the Omicron risk aversion slowly is fading out. 10-year India G-Sec yield closed at 635 on slightly dovish policy by RBI yesterday. The new range looks like it's a 632 to 640 for December and up to December end. Crude oil continued to move higher. Now WTI is entering into area where the resistance zone is something around 75 USD per barrel. On emerging market, Brazil central banks hiked 150 basis point interest rate to 9 quarter. That's all from me. Thank you.